may talk myself into getting another group or two because
I'm so excited about that.
Hello, everybody. It's Tony Harris Taylor and
San Diego. Then you ran me down to here in Dallas. So I had.
Welcome, everyone, to the TJIF show. This is Tony Harris Taylor, half of the dynamic duo. Today, Jennifer is on vacation, a much-needed vacation, and so I am flying solo today, and I am very happy to be here. Thank you all for joining us. If you're joining us live or watching us on the replay, yay! Thank you for showing up. You know, the first key to success is to show up. To remind you, my name is Tony Harris Taylor, and I'm a sales and marketing coach with drastic results marketing and sales coaching, where I help entrepreneurs, service-based entrepreneurs specifically, to get known, get connected, and get paid. I'm also the proud multi-unit owner of a Network in Action franchise, where I help business owners to connect, collaborate, business growth, networking, and bring more leads to help us all stay in business. So welcome. My partner is Jennifer Callender. She is a franchise consultant, and she helps you find your perfect franchise through education and connection. She figures out what's the right franchise model for you, and she makes those introductions and guides you through the process, much like a realtor does with helping someone to find their home. So this week, we have a special guest, Miss Angelique McMillan, where I met her at the IFA Franchise Customer Experience Conference, and you'll hear more about who she is and what she does. And we're going to talk a lot about branding today. So we usually talk about our week and we go back and forth. And I just want you to know that this was an excellent week. It's always an excellent week when you wake up. Let's just start there. But this was a great week because I attended several networking events, and a couple of them were they were new events for me. And then one thing I have to say is and those of you who are in my network and you follow me already, you know that I'm adamant about booking appointments on the spot. And I'm going to stand on the soapbox again today because I have gone to several events this week and nobody approaches me about getting on my calendar. Business owners, entrepreneurs, franchisees, franchisors, if you are listening, nothing is going to happen by merely taking someone's business card. You have got to be intentional about scheduling appointments and making it happen. It will not happen if you just take someone's business card and say, we're going to get together one day. One day never gets here. So whenever you are networking, you're showing up to events, you want to book appointments on the spot. Now, these are not sales appointments. I want to be clear about that. These are get to know you appointments. Nobody gets to know each other without the first date. You have to date to get married. You won't get referrals. You won't get new customers unless you date. So asking for the first date is critical when networking. Our guests can probably attest to that because I met her at the Franchise Customer Experience Conference. And she took my card and she said, okay, we're going to connect. No, ma'am, we're not. We're going to date right now. And I got her on my calendar. And since then, we've had our one-to-one. I invited her to show up here. And let me just tell you this. This is also a way, business owners, that you can deepen the connection with the people in your network. Have them on your podcast. Have them on your video cast. that gives you the second opportunity to build a relationship. So this is a strategy. In fact, I'm going to tell you later about my viral networking conference, and we're going to talk about this strategy because this strategy is what deepens connections to the people that you are dating. So I want to welcome to the show today, Miss Angelique McMillan of the Handyman Connection.
Woo! Hi, Tony. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So, first of all, tell everybody who you are, what your role is, and what you do.
Yes, my name is Angelique McMillan. I am the Vice President of Marketing for Handyman Connection. This is a newly appointed role for me. I have been with Handyman Connection since 2017. Actually celebrated my 5-year anniversary 2 days ago, and I was recently promoted to the role of Vice President. So my role here at the company is to focus on all things brand, making sure that our franchisees are executing on our brand experience model and making sure that we are increasing our brand footprint across the United States and Canada. So that is what I do for Handyman Connection.
I love that. I love that. So I know you heard my opening about me insisting that we book a date.
Yes.
So I didn't ask you this before, and I know it's a drastic strategy. And sometimes I know the strategy could be like, oh, who is this woman? So when I asked you for a date, how did that land with you? And then since now this is our second date, technically, that strategy makes sense.
You know, for me, it was kind of eye-opening because you're right. Asking for a meeting is, everybody asks for meetings all the time. I don't want to have more meetings, but no one ever wants to date me, especially since I've been married for 20 years. So I think it was a phenomenal way to start the conversation. And the fact that we met in the ladies' restroom and that's where you asked me on our first date was even better.
That's right. Okay, so they were on stage. So let's set the stage so y'all know I'm not accosting people in the ladies' room. But they were on stage. You did an excellent job presenting your value proposition of Handyman Connection, and we're going to talk about that. But I was intrigued because my husband is an electrician, and anytime, and those guys were so regular guys that you all showcased. And so I was moved and inspired by the work that you all put together and presented there. So I need you to know that I didn't just track you down in the back.
I know you didn't. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And that was actually my my predecessor, Marcy Kleinsasser, that did that presentation on behalf of us. So yeah, it was fantastic. The Craftsman Brand Champions campaign has been a phenomenal tool for us to leverage, increase our retention and also increase our candidates. Everybody knows service-based businesses are labor restrained. So anything we can do to help, promote the sense of community and family that Handyman Connection has really goes a long way for us and for the brand.
So tell us about Handyman Connection, where you're based out of, and what is it that you really do?
Yeah, so we are based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and we all work remotely. So I'm actually located in Denver, Colorado, and that's where I'm coming from for you today. We are the premier leading home service and remodeling company in the United States. So we do everything from small to medium home improvements, so repair, replace items, but we actually perform over 450 different services for businesses and consumers across the United States and Canada. So that is a little bit about what we do. We do operate in all of North America, which is fantastic. And it's something that we're really proud of, to have a strong Canadian footprint as well as our US footprint.
Wonderful. Well, I know you all really work on your branding and consistency in branding. So I want to talk to the franchisees and the franchisors out there about branding. How important is branding to a franchise?
Yeah, I mean, when you buy a franchise, you're buying the brand. You're buying that toolkit and you're buying the consistency and the legacy of that brand. So for us, brand is really all about our brand experience and how we engage with our customers in pursuing our goal of being the lifetime home improvement specialist for all of their home improvement needs. So ultimately, when you think about branding, it's who we are, it's what we do, and how we execute on those two components. So it's really about execution, measurement, and delivery of our brand experience. So it's crucial to a franchisee, if you're going to purchase a franchise or buy into a brand, that you're willing to uphold those brand standards and follow those brand guidelines.
I have a kind of a funny story about that. So I bought Network in Action in 2019, but my brand is all about red. People know me in red. It's like I went to a conference a couple weeks ago and I didn't wear red to the third day, and people are like, "Where is your red?" Right? But when I bought NIA, it was just blue.
Yeah.
It was like, nothing about me blue. And I really struggled with having to promote a different color or a different brand. Since then, I've come to realize blue and red go together very well. But it really was a mental shift for me to say, hey, I don't have the right to change this NIA to red because I purchased this blue logo. So you can't sell Kool-Aid at McDonald's, y'all.
You cannot, Tony.
You cannot, even though you love Kool-Aid, you cannot sell it at McDonald's. And so with the Handyman Connection, they work really hard on their brand. Have you seen it where people have tried to kind of gone rogue with your brand a little bit?
Yeah. And, Tony, it's so funny to me that someone would purchase a brand and then not follow the brand. Like, the whole benefit of purchasing a brand is we've got it all figured out for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. But of course, there's always a rogue franchisee or two that thinks that they can do it bigger, better, badder. And unfortunately, they always end up coming back to the brand standards and to our brand guidelines because what they thought was bigger, better, badder wasn't necessarily the case. So most importantly, this tends to happen a lot in marketing and advertising materials and collateral. If you don't think we don't have a turnkey marketing program, you're crazy. We do, but franchisees always think that they can sometimes do things a little bit better, and sometimes that falls flat in using the wrong colors or using logos that weren't necessarily approved or a part of the brand. So there's been some cases, of course, where things like that have happened, but I can always, thankfully say they always come back to the brand.
Yay, awesome. So let's talk about marketing today. We have so many avenues. I'm a marketing and sales coach, and my lane is all relationship marketing. But marketing is a hub, and then there's lots of spokes. What are some of the spokes that Handyman Connection uses to reach their target clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So we really have a modern marketing media mix to ensure that we're reaching customers across multiple touch points. So we basically want to have visibility in as many places as possible where customers are searching for home improvement, repair, and remodeling services. So of course, we rely a lot on the digital tactics such as search engine optimization, pay-per-click. We use a lot of programmatic display and retargeting. We're also leveraging traditional forms of media like postcards and direct mail inserts and things like that nature. We're looking at some connected TV options. We, of course, do a ton of social media marketing on Facebook and Instagram because a lot of what we do is so visual. We really focus on the quality of the craftsmanship of the work that our team is doing. So that visual aspect is really important for our brand. So we're constantly ebbing and flowing and looking at new ways to promote the brand and to get in front of customers on an ongoing basis. That's part of my job, and my team's job is to ensure that we have the best tactics in place and as many tactics as possible to ensure that we're reaching those customers.
So, networking is my thing, and some of that grassroots marketing. And I think it's even more important for your brand to be part of their community. So what type of marketing strategies do you all encourage with Handyman to do the grassroots community?
And I'm so glad you said that, Tony, because I completely left that off of the table on purpose so that you could ask this question. But community marketing for us is so crucial because we focus on diving deep into our territories that we own, so our franchisees can really become part of the local community. So we encourage them to attend not only the large home shows and trade shows that are operating in their area, but really getting out and joining community groups. So the Chamber of Commerce, the BNI, also going out and meeting their neighbors, shaking hands and kissing babies is what we call it. But it's getting out there and letting people meet you, because ultimately as the owner, the local owner, they are the face of the brand in their community. So it's super important that they get involved at the local level and not just those larger shows.
Okay, very good. She said the B word, y'all. She said the
I
B
know.
word on my show, but that's okay. It's okay because the NIA is getting ready to be known in the franchise space. And so networking action is an alternative to the B word. So, but yes, community involvement is really important. And that's how they can also find their next employee, right? And their
Absolutely.
next team member. So that's great. So who makes a great franchise owner, franchisee for Handyman Connection?
Yeah, so for us, a good franchise owner is going to be someone that wants to be a part of something bigger. So that wants to have the support and the team behind them to help push and help them grow. Someone that wants to do it all on their own probably wouldn't make a great franchisee for us, because we want new franchisees that are coachable, that are willing to go out, get into their community, make those connections, not only with potential customers, but also with potential craftsmen and potential employees for their team. So we're really looking for someone that doesn't necessarily have that skill set of being a hammer swinger or having been in the trenches of, the home improvement space itself, but really is more business minded and community minded and able to get out and make connections in the local community.
Oh, okay. So let's clear that up.
Yeah.
You don't have to be handy to be a Handyman Connection franchisee.
You do not. It's better if you're not, actually, because then you don't work in the business, you work on the business.
Yes, great point. And I'm finding that to be true with a lot of service-based brands. So if you're watching, not that if you do have the service skills, it's not that you're not a good fit, but a better fit is more of a business person who can go find the people who do the work.
Absolutely.
And they got it. Very good. That's a very good distinction. So those of you who might be pre-retirement, might be laid off from corporate, sick of them people you work with and ready to do something else. We got to keep it 100. You might want to reach out to Jennifer to then get a referral to Handyman Connection, because they really are looking for those business owners who want to be in the community, helping the community. Now, that kitchen behind you, I know that's just a background, but that's a good example of the type of work you all do, right?
Yeah, I mean, we focus on small to medium home repairs. We have offices that will do larger full-scale kitchen remodels. It's all about the local office and the team that they're able to build and what they're able to execute on. So really, you can build this to be whatever you want it to be in terms of small repair and replace or a larger, middle-sized remodeling project. So
okay, so you just brought up another really great point. So some brands in franchising are, this is our way, you make the hamburger this way. Yeah. Other brands are, here's a template. We give you some leverage to season it with your own flavor. And it sounds like you're that, but if you just want to say small project, hang a light, hang a ceiling fan, or if you want to do a whole remodel, you have some flexibility in the brand to do that. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, it's all about the depth of the craftsman roster that you have in terms of what you're able to execute and build at the local level. So we have some offices that do a mix of both small and larger projects, and a good chunk of them that just do smaller, and some that just do those middle-sized remodels.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, I am excited to learn about Handyman Connection. Just curious, Houston, do you have Handyman Connection franchisees out here?
We don't, but Houston is a hot market for us. We're looking to, hopefully have an expansion of 10 franchisees there. I know our franchise development team is working hard at promoting the Houston market. You may have seen a press release that recently came out regarding Handyman Connection and the fact that we're looking at relaunching in the Houston market. So be on the lookout, Tony. We will be in Houston very soon.
So here's what I'd like to ask from you. introduce me to the person who's in charge of growing the Houston market, because I know people and I might be able to help them put something together to attract their ideal target clients. So
I love that. I will connect you with Luke Schulte, who is our Executive Director of Franchise Development. He will be ecstatic to talk with you, Tony. So
awesome.
I will get that set up and make sure that you two get a date.
That's exact. See how this works. Did y'all just see that? Did you just see that? I heard a need. I said, I can help. She said, great. I'm going to make the connection. And then Luke and I are going to have a conversation. That is networking at its finest. And if I help them, guess what they're going to want to do for me? They're going to want to help me. That's the way relationship marketing works. You guys, you just saw it live and in living color. It was not planned that way. So are there any final thoughts, Angelique, you'd like to give about the brand or about marketing in general, and or even just some encouragement to other franchisees?
Yeah, I think I'll tell franchisees, don't forget to leverage your network. Not only networking externally, but networking internally within your network. You're not going through this alone. You purchased a franchise brand to be part of a larger family, is what we call it here at Handyman Connection. Leverage your family members, lean on your brothers and your sisters, and learn from them. So, you're not making the same mistakes twice, and or you can fail forward, which is our motto here. If you're not failing on a regular basis, you're not learning and growing. So, leveraging your network, I think, is the biggest advantage to being part of a franchise brand, is that you're not reinventing the wheel and you have a whole family and a team behind you to help support you and help ensure that you're successful.
Yay. Thank you so much for a little bit of your time to introduce Handyman Connection. This is our second date. I hope it was good for you. And I want to continue the conversation because Houston, there's no reason you shouldn't be here.
I agree completely.
Crazy hot spot for you all. So whatever I can do to open a door to help Luke to hit his goals, I'll be willing to do that. Thank you, Angelique. Stay in the background until we close it out. So how was that? That was a great demonstration of how you take a meeting in the ladies' room, build a connection, bring them to give them something of value. So now my network knows about Handyman, and then you continue the relationship building. And that comes back. It may or may not come back directly from that person, but it comes back tenfold. So networking, drastic to ask for a date in the ladies' room. It just is. But look where it can lead you. So I hope you learned something. Plus, Angelique's just real cool. Congratulations on your promotion. Handyman Connection is a great brand. I got a little taste of them at the conference, and I look forward to doing more work with you. So I want to share with you some final thoughts. My conference registration is open. So the Viral Networking Conference, this is the second annual, if you will, Viral Networking Conference, November 2nd through 4th. In person is VIP in Houston, and then general admission is online. If you are a service-based entrepreneur where you have to stand out and build relationships, people do business with you because they know you, like you, and trust you, but nobody knows you. They don't necessarily like you right now because they don't know you. You need to be at the conference so you can learn those strategies. At this conference, you're going to learn branding, having a brand that's attractive, how to use speaking to attract your ideal clients, how to turn social media contacts to contracts, how to create profitable events, use technology. Shout out to Larry Tucker with E2W, who's going to speak to you about technology. Sheila Collins is going to talk to you about video marketing. Diane Bowdery is going to talk to you about multiple streams of income that will take your business viral. Register today. Be a VIP. Show up where the people are playing at a higher level. And we have a introductory early bird special $197, which includes your meals for 3 days. So that's an amazing deal to show up in Houston and get connected. I appreciate you all. And if you can't come, do me a favor, share it. Sharing is caring, and I love you for sharing it and being a part of the Viral Networking Conference. One more thing, everybody, whether you're online or in person, everybody leaves with appointments on the calendar. No collecting business cards, appointments on the calendar. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Jennifer and I both will be back. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. See you next week.
DJ I am sure, DJ I am sure, DJ I am sure, yeah.